Friday, February 21st of 2014, and welcome to Knits and Stuff, episode 4. My name is Alicia, and I will be your host today. It's been a while. I kind of lost my crafting mojo for a little bit. From the last time I podcasted in September until a couple weeks ago, I didn't do any knitting or crocheting or crafting of any sort. I cooked a lot though, so I think that was kind of taking up all of my creative juice. So yeah, and I didn't want a podcast if I didn't have anything to talk about except maybe Doctor Who. So that's why I'm here now, because I started doing some knitting again and spinning, and so I finally have something to talk about. Which means I will be talking about finished objects, works in progress, pretty things, local delights, and wibbly wobbly timey wimey. So thanks for sticking around for those of you that have watched before, and for those of you that are new, welcome. And I am Eliana Knits on Ravelry. Oh, and show notes you can find on knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So yeah, let's get started. So, first finished object I am wearing, it is the Sockhead hat, and this is by Kelly McClure, and I knit it in Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and it's size 3 needles, US 3s, no, US 2.5s, 3mm needles, and I knit pretty much the full size. I didn't really make any adjustments to it, and it's nice and slouchy and I like it, and normally I don't wear these kind of hats, but I really like this one. So I might be making a couple more of these in the future, and maybe for gifts too, because it was no, it looks funny. So yeah, it was fun to knit. I really like doing that. And apparently I've been in a mint phase recently, because this is also a very similar color of another finished object, which is the Soroyan shawl, which I think I talked about in my last podcast. This is just the one with one side that has the leaf border, and then the Soroyan is by Liz Abenante, and I knit it in Bumble Birch Forage in US 10s, 6.5mm. And I made a few adjustments. I just, because I had two skeins of the yarn, I wanted to make something bigger because I had some extra. So I did 7 repeats on the increases, and then 12 straight sections, 12 repeats for the straight section, and then 7 again on the other end, on the decreases. So, and for some reason, I don't know what happened, but so this is the cast on side, and it's supposed to be an even, increase, right? Which looks normal. But then when I was decreasing, I think I decreased too much, too quickly. Like I had some extra knit two-togethers, or so it goes normal until I get to this repeat, and I'm like, I still have an extra repeat to do, but I don't have enough stitches. So I just kind of knit straight for a little bit until I decrease again, because I still wanted the same number of leaves, but if it looks a little funky, that's okay. It seems okay. It still wears fine. So, and I like it. I've already worn it a couple times. But yeah, mint phase, same, they match. And then I also started working on some charity hats, and so there's this thing called the Podcaster Throwdown, and that I just found about, because along with not knitting and crafting, I also wasn't listening to any podcasts, so I didn't know what was going on until I picked it back up again, and apparently there's something called the Podcaster Throwdown, where they're knitting hats for Halos of Hope, and you can donate the hats for a podcast group or for a podcast team, and then whoever gets the most hats wins. So I was listening to the Knit More Girls, and I knit a hat for their team, and this is the hat. It's the 2-hour hat by Allison. I have my show notes over here. Where is it? Oh, Allison Blevins. So this is for Halos of Hope, and I even put a little tag on there. I don't know, my camera doesn't autofocus, so sorry. Yeah, and so I'm gonna bring this to Stitches West tomorrow when Jasmine and Gigi have their meetup, and then hopefully I can drop it off with them, along with 2 other finished objects, preemie hats. They're so tiny, especially this one. This one is from the pattern Preemie Hats for Charity, and that's by Cursa Browning. And I knit this in some leftover sport weight yarn. One of them is the Prism Merino Mia, that's the bluish one, and then the other one is the Blue Moon Socks That Rock, medium weight, and in spores, the color spores, and the blue is the color fog. And this was left over from a shawl that I made, and then the blue was from a beret that I made not too long ago. So yeah, that's this one. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Halos of Hope hat. This is out of Joanne's Marvel. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Joanne's Sensations Marvel, and it's a super bulky yarn. And I knit this in US 15 10 millimeters needle. So, and then the other preemie hat that I knit was with the leftover worsted weight yarns. And one of them is the same as this shawl. So that's the Bumble Birch Forage. And then I have some Malabrigo worsted in Fog? No, that was the other one. In Polar Morn. And then it goes to the Manos del Uruguay, and I think they don't have a color name. It was just a number 119. And then this top one, which is leftovers from the Evangeline mitts that I have, it's Malabrigo in Pearl 10. And this pattern is called Ashen by OM Knits, and it's I knit it in US 7s, 4.5 millimeters. Yeah, and they're both pretty quick. I did this one in one night. This one I think I took a little bit longer because I took more breaks. But yeah, so those are also going to charity, and also going to the Knit More Girls to donate to their NICU. So I didn't realize how awesome it was to knit preemie hats with leftovers, because they're like the perfect size to use up all of the leftover yarn. So I should be knitting more of these. And I'm excited because they're for a good cause. So those are all my finished knitting objects, and then I have one finished spinning object. And this I think I showed last time. It's the Lisa Souza Silk and Merino top, and I spun this on my ladybug, and then I Navajo plied it, so I did 3 plies with one full bobbin, and then I think it came out to about a worsted, maybe like a light worsted, or maybe not. Yeah, maybe like a light worsted or sport weight, because it's a little uneven. But it actually, I was afraid I overspun it, but when I thwacked it a lot, I hit it against our bathtub, and it got a lot of the twist out. So now it's actually not that bad. But then if I wash it again, it might get springy. So hopefully it's okay. Maybe I can knit some socks out of this, because it's nice and strong with the silk, and really soft because it's silk and merino. So, and this is about 4 ounces. I think like 400 yards, maybe 300. So yeah, that's all of my finished objects, which is actually not too bad considering I wasn't crafting for a really long time. So yeah, next up, works in progress. I looked it up and it's 260 yards for the Lisa Sousa. So maybe not enough for socks. Although it is kind of heavyweight, so maybe. But yeah, we'll see in the future. I've only knit with my hand spun twice so far. One of them was for a headband, and then the other one is my first works in progress. So I need to knit with my hand spun more. But you guys saw this last time, or at least one of the previous episodes. This is the Ginkgo Crescent shawl by Jade Keeney, and I'm knitting it in US 6 needles, 4.0 millimeters. Ooh, you can see the lace. And yeah, that's all the details that I need to look up. So this is spun from my from a loop bat, the first loop bat that I got, and I am almost done with the lace section, and then it's going to be a lot to cast off. I have a lifeline, that's that blue in there is the lifeline, which yeah, I messed up a couple times on the lace, and I didn't put a lifeline in the first time, so I had a really hard time picking up stitches. And I also decided to do the largest size instead of the second largest, so I guess it was okay that I messed up on the lace because I got to increase more and make it bigger. So, and then when I put the first lifeline in, I thought I was really smart. I think I might have mentioned this last time too, but I thought I was really smart because I put the yarn in the needle in between where because these are Addy clicks, so they interchange. So I put some thin yarn in between, and sorry, our doorbell just rang. And then snapped it back on, which was it held pretty well. And then I knit through, but I had the stitch markers in already, and so I knit through the stitch markers also with the lifeline. And then when I went back, these stitch markers don't disconnect. So when I started knitting more, my stitch markers were moving up, but my lifeline wasn't, and that didn't work. So I had to cut it, and I think when I cut it, something bad happened. Either that or moths got into it, but I really hope I accidentally cut it and it wasn't a moth that chewed through it, because there is a little part here where the yarn came undone, and it kind of looked like chew marks, but maybe it was just a really sloppy cut. And yeah, so it came undone and in the lace section, and I was like, oh crap. And I just found another part where it looked like it came undone. Oh my gosh, maybe it was moths. Or maybe I failed at cutting in 2 sections. Oh no. So I had like 4 loose ends on the first part that I noticed, and so I kind of wove them back in, and you can't really tell from the lace pattern because it's where there's some yarn over, so there's holes already. So my plan is to kind of go through with a needle and thread and reinforce it so it doesn't actually come undone. But yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to do that in another spot also. Huh, it almost just looks like it. Oh, I see what happened. Maybe it was moths. That's no good. I don't like moths. So yeah, I'm trying to finish this one quickly so I can give it a good bath, and I guess if it is moths, then hope that they're all gone. But I didn't see anything when I looked at it, so that's why I was like, maybe I just cut it and that would be better, because I cut off the old lifeline yarn. So yeah, so hopefully it'll be okay. And yeah, I just have a few more rows to do, so trying to finish this quickly. Hopefully it'll be done by the next time you see it and not in pieces because of the moss. So that's work in progress number 1. And I also worked a little bit on the monkey fingerless mitts. And this is out of Koigu Painter's Palette Premium Merino KPPM on size 2 needles, 2.75 millimeters, and I only did a little bit. I think I did like 1.5 repeats since you last saw this, so it's coming along. It's just something that I have sitting at my desk when I have extra time to work on, because it's lace. It requires a little bit of focus, but it's a pretty simple pattern, so not too bad. And I think I showed this last time too, but it's in my bag that little box bag that I made, which could probably double as a makeup bag because it's got this vinyl inside lining, so it's easy to wipe down, which is kind of nice. So that's knitting works in progress. And then I have a couple spinning ones. One that you saw last time was the Daybreak Dye Works roll eggs. So I made a little bit of progress on that, and I'm still, I think last time I said I was spinning them end to end, and then I was going to divide the roll eggs in 2 and spin up one set and then spin up the other set and then apply them together. But now I'm thinking I might just spin up the whole thing on one spindle, because I don't know, I still have a lot of room left and I'm almost halfway through. So, but then I guess when I do the full thing, it's going to take up a lot of space. So I'm on the fence about that, whether or not I want to split it. Because if I spin the whole thing, and then I can just put it into a center pole ball and apply both ends together. So, yeah, but we'll see about that. And then my other spinning works in progress is something new. And this is Pigeon Roof Studios BFL Roving in tourmaline, and I spun this up on my ladybug. It's kind of uneven towards the end, but I have over 8 ounces of this, so one braid was about 4 ounces. So I spun up, this is the first braid, and then I'm going to spin up the second braid and then apply those 2 together. And I really liked her. I had another, I think it was Corridell from her that was dyed in like a green color, and green and purple, and it was really pretty. And when I applied it together, it looked so nice. So I'm excited for this. Yeah, I think that's all of my works in progress. So that means time for pretty things. I've been really good and I haven't bought anything since the last time I podcasted. But I did have some stuff that I bought when I went to Oregon for my birthday last year that I can talk about. So I brought some of those to show. I tried to get some local yarns and not just something that I could get anywhere. But then I also I've heard a lot about Dream in Color Smushy, and that's not really local to Oregon, but I did see a really pretty color and it was really soft, so I wanted to get it. So this is Dream in Color Smushy with Cashmere in the colorway Canary Cape, or Canary Cape. I think Canary has 2 ends. Canary Cape, and it is really squishy. It's sock weight yarn. I don't know if I want to actually use this to make socks because it's so soft, and I kind of just want it against my neck or something and make like a shawl, but I haven't really had success making socks yet, so maybe I don't know, maybe I will make socks out of it. I don't know what I'm gonna make with this yet, is basically what I'm saying. So that's the first one. Oh, and I bought this at a yarn store called Close Knit in Portland. So that's that. And then now some Oregon yarns. This is Solstice, and this is so sparkly. Solstice Falling Stars, and the colorway is Frost. And it's merino, silk, nylon, and silver. And does that mean real silver? Oh my goodness. So this one I bought from Dublin Bay Knitting Company in the Pearl District in Portland, and they had a really cute store, and there were a lot of other cute stores in that area too, like this really cute stationery store that I bought something at, which I should show you. So one second. Okay, so I got this really cute pocket notebook at the store next door, and I'm gonna have to look up the name and put it somewhere down here, hopefully. And it's really cute. It has just like a little elastic that keeps it shut, and then it's called the Pocket Notebook, and it's best focused over here, isn't it? So yeah, it's this really cute notebook, and then it has graph paper and in the front, and then in the back it has this like craft paper, like the brown paper. And yeah, I like it a lot, and I actually don't use notebooks that much, but I couldn't resist. So, and it also has conversions in the back, that's kind of useful. So that is also a pretty thing. But yeah, so Solstice was at the Dublin Bay Knitting Company, and then I bought Bumble Birch, some more Bumble Birch. So there was the one that I already used for this shawl, and then I got another Bumble Birch Wellspring in Blueberry. Oh, so pretty. Colors are really pretty. So she's local to Portland, and I bought this one from Pearl Fiber Arts, also in Portland, and it is a fingering weight. And it's superwash merino, but it's kind of, I don't know, I guess the twist isn't that low, but it seems like socks might wear kind of hard on it, on the feet, or the feet might wear kind of hard on the socks. So I don't know if I'm going to make this one into socks either, but plus I kind of want to show it off because it's so pretty. So maybe another shawl. And that's all the yarn that I bought. But I also went to the Button Emporium, and oh my goodness, my show notes freaked out. What happened? Oh no. Oh no, I don't know what happened to my show notes. So I got the, we went to the Button Emporium, and I got 10 buttons that I'm hoping to make a sweater out of in the Botanical Knits book, and use them because they have leaves, and I'm gonna try and focus this so that you can see. Yeah, so there's the little button leaves, and so I got 10 of these, and I'm hoping to make a sweater. So now I'm not gonna be completely out of focus, hopefully. But yeah, from the Button Emporium, and I've heard good things about the Button Emporium. I think the Knitmore girls have talked about them. But so I think if you run out of buttons, you can ask them to send you some more if you know which ones they are. So that's why I was like, oh, I don't know which sweater I'm gonna make yet, but I'll buy 10 buttons for now, and if I run out I can get more. Yeah, that's how you get a stash, isn't it? So that's it for pretty things. And next I think we have Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, but first I need to fix my show notes. Okay, so it's actually Local Delights, not Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, that's next. And this week I want to talk about the track that I've been going to, because I've been running a little bit more, and I'm trying to get in better running shape at least, because I'm running Beta Breakers this year, and I did it last year too. And I think I may try and run the Nike Women's Half Marathon in October, but I'm not sure I want to pay like $200 to run a distance of that much. So yeah, we'll see. And it's a lottery too. You may, even though you pay the money, you may not actually get registered for it. But they give you your money back if you don't make it, of course. But yeah, it's a pretty popular event in San Francisco. And then there's also one in Washington, D.C. But anyway, so I've been walking to the track that's about a mile away from our place, and it's a really nice track. They have like a grass field in the middle, and then this like regulation track around it. And it's at a middle school, so it's open to the public outside school hours. So I've been running to that. And on the way there, there's also a grocery store called Monterey Market. So it's not in Monterey, but it's off of a street called Monterey. And they have a lot of fresh seasonal produce there, and it's a pretty good deal for what you get too. I think it's not as expensive as Berkeley Bowl is, because it's kind of like Berkeley Bowl, which I talked about a couple of episodes ago. And so it's nice because it's close to my house, so I can just walk there and get fresh fruit and vegetables and then walk home and then eat all of it. And then also on the way to the track there is a community garden, which is really cool. I have wanted to like steal fruit from there and vegetables, but obviously you can't. And if you don't grow anything in there, you're not supposed to pick the fruit that's there, since it's not yours. So, but yeah, that's kind of nice that they have a space where you can grow your own stuff, especially since our house is pretty small, our yard is pretty small, so we don't have too much area to grow food there. So, but yeah, that's it for local delights. Hopefully I'll keep finding more things in the area. If not, I might have to expand to other cities to talk about, but there's plenty in Berkeley. I just have to find it all. Now it's time for Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, which also kind of corresponds to pretty things because I got a cool Christmas gift. And it's the Blu-ray gift set that has series 1 through 7 and some goodies. So yeah, I'm gonna show this off. It comes with a sonic screwdriver remote control, which is the coolest thing ever. But I haven't programmed it yet, but it comes in this fancy case. And then this is it. It doesn't flip open like the toy and the actual thing does, but it does light up, and then you can control your TV or whatever else thing uses remotes with. So that's really cool. So I need to set that up, and then I can wave the sonic screwdriver at my TV and it will do things. And it also comes with this really cool instruction diagram, which is blue, which makes sense. And then some pretty pictures on the back. So, sonic screwdriver, universal remote control. That's awesome. And then, besides the DVDs, it also comes with some goodies. Hopefully I'm not making too much noise with all this stuff. Oh, so many DVDs. So it has all of the seasons and the Christmas specials up through I think it's up through not the last Christmas special from 2013, but the one before. So yeah, and then some bonus stuff too. And then it comes with a comic book with the 11th Doctor and Clara, Oswald. I don't think I've read the whole thing yet. And then it also comes with these, I think this is my favorite part, besides the remote, these prints of the 3 Doctors that they've had in the new series. So there's 9, 10, my favorite, and 11. So those are nice. So that's some goodies that I got. Also, something that has happened is that Hulu is now offering BBC shows on their website. So that's really cool. Now you can watch Doctor Who on Hulu. Although now that I have the DVD set, I don't really need to do that. Because before it was either Netflix or watching it on cable. If you have cable, but we don't have cable. So, but I think Hulu's also delayed like Netflix is. It doesn't have it right away. But that's okay. And they have other shows too from BBC, like I think they have Torchwood on there now, and Top Gear, which I've been watching a lot of Top Gear lately, and now I really want a fun car. But yeah, Top Gear is also really entertaining. What else? Oh, so the anniversary special was also last year, in between the last time I podcasted now. And that was really good. I really liked it. It had David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, and Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, and then the War Doctor, who is also like Doctor 8.5 / Doctor 9, and then everyone gets pushed out one. I don't know, there was this whole counting thing that they had to explain because the regenerations got really complicated. So that was really good, and it had Billie Piper, who played Rose, the 9th Doctor's first companion. And she wasn't Rose in this special, but she was similar to her, I guess. I don't know. It was really good. I liked it a lot. I cannot say the same thing about the Christmas special. So the Christmas special was the last episode with Matt Smith, so it was his farewell to everyone, and I think they kind of tried to do a little too much with it, because there was a lot of stuff going on, and I actually had to watch it a second time to know what was going on, because, well, the first time I watched it, I had missed like bits and pieces because it was Christmas and there was stuff going on in the background, so trying to do too many things at once, and I thought, oh, maybe, you know, that's why. And then I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, that's what's happening, but I still don't really understand what's going on. So, yeah, it wasn't as good as their the other Christmas specials, and I definitely like the 50th anniversary special more. Maybe that's just because it had David Tennant in it. I don't know. But I'm hoping that with the new Doctor, Pierre Capaldi, that they'll kind of reboot it, I guess. Because I think lately with Matt Smith and their writing has gotten a little bit crazy. They're doing a lot of like big epic stories, and I think they need to tone it down, or else every episode's gonna be like the world is ending and the Doctor is ending and everyone is ending. So but we'll see where it goes. I think they come back in, I want to say April, but I might be making that up. I don't know if they've announced it yet. But Game of Thrones is coming back in April, April 6th. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And speaking of other shows that I watch and fandoms and stuff, Comic-Con tickets went on sale for the pre-registration tickets, which were for people who had attended the previous year, and we got tickets, yay, for all 4 days. We couldn't get preview night, unfortunately, because they sold out, but by the time we got in, because they have this whole waiting room thing set up now, kind of. It was confusing. Well, it took a long time, but we got tickets, so I'm excited. I have no idea who's going to be there because they haven't announced the lineup yet, but I'm assuming Doctor Who's going to be there because they always are, hopefully. So yeah, that's Comic-Con, and I need to figure out what I'm going to cosplay as, because I'm thinking of dressing up for all 4 days, which means making some costumes, so I might be showing that in the near future or far future, depending on when I start. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, sorry it's been so long. Well, I just haven't been crafting, but hopefully I will keep at it this time and not lose my crafting mojo again. I missed it a lot. So yeah, and show notes again are at knitsandstuff.blogspot.com. I'm Eliana Knits on Ravelry, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.